Hello everyone. Today we are talking about the cyber kill chain. The kill chain has been developed by Lockheed Martin in 2011 in order to classify the steps of a cyber attack into 7 successive phases. It is derived from the military concept to identify and defend against enemy attacks. One important thing to note is that the cyber kill chain takes the attacker's point of view. Only if we understand how attackers operate can we successfully defend against them. We'll go through the phases one by one, and at the end I will give you a short summary. First, the 7 steps are reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, actions on objective. First, reconnaissance. After an attacker chooses a target for their attack, they first collect as much information as possible. First, they usually do this passively by simply using search engines or social media to find and collect as much publicly available information as possible. Passive reconnaissance attacks are impossible to detect, obviously, but companies can be diligent in what they put out. Employees should, for example, not be allowed to post photos where badges are visible or where security cameras are visible to social media feeds. Afterwards, they usually perform active reconnaissance, such as port scans on public-facing infrastructure. These can be detected, and attackers need to be careful to not raise any suspicion. Automated IDS systems can usually detect suspicious activities and block certain IPs from access. The next step is weaponization. To successfully carry out an attack, the attacker falls back on tools in their repertoire. For a ransomware attack, for example, attackers might choose specific encryption trojans like WannaCry, Petya, and so on. Depending on the attacker, this can also be a tool specifically developed for the respective target. This happens when big APTs attack government agencies, for example. To defend against weaponization, we are again only left to analyze traffic and detect irregularities. The next step is the first step that actually carries out the attack, the delivery. In this step, the attacker starts with the attack. Based on the information collected during reconnaissance, he chooses a medium such as USB sticks, emails, or social media. The goal here is to get initial access into the victim's network via a malware delivery. Defending against delivery can be done via awareness campaigns to prevent your employees from plugging in USB sticks they find, not click on phishing mails, and so on. Unfortunately, these campaigns are not always very effective. After initial access succeeds, the attacker enters the phase of exploitation. Once the malware is delivered, it gets executed. This usually happens upon opening a file, but can also be triggered, for example, when a certain date is reached. This is called a logical bomb. The next step is installation. The initial delivered malware is not what's actually compromising the system, rather it's a malware deliverer. It installs, for example, a backdoor on the target system in order to gain persistence on said system. Once the backdoor is installed, we enter the next phase, command and control, or simply C2. During C2, the attacker is able to communicate to the installed backdoor. Nowadays, a lot of this happens via HTTP, since those ports are usually open. Finally, the last stage, actions on objective. If the attacker has remote access to a target system, the real fun begins. He will try lateral movement and privilege escalation if the goal is to steal as much information as possible. If detection has not happened so far, it is unlikely that it will be detected soon. Sometimes APTs can stay for months in target systems. To summarize, the kill chain has 7 successive steps. Reconnaissance, gather information about the victim. Weaponization, create or choose an appropriate tool for the attack. Delivery, choose how to deliver your malware to the victim. Exploitation, once delivered, activate the malware. Installation, the malware loader installs and often downloads the actual malware. Command and control, the actual goal of the attack. The attacker has now remote control over the target system. Actions on objective, depending on the attacker's objective, this step varies from attack to attack. Usually, attackers try to escalate their privileges to steal as much information as possible. And this concludes today's video. Thanks for watching. If you learned something, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep the videos coming. See you in the next.